I am not black. I mean, that's what the world calls me, but it's not me. I didn't come out of my mother's womb saying, hey everybody, I'm black. I was taught to be black, and you were taught to call me that. And along with whatever you call yourself is just a label. See, from birth, the world force feeds us these labels. And eventually, we swallow them. We digest and accept these labels, never ever doubting them. But there's one problem. Labels are not you and labels are not me. Labels are just labels. But who we truly are is not skin deep. See, when I drive my car, no one would ever confuse my car for me. But when I drive my body, why do you confuse my body for me? It's my body. Get it? Not me. Let me break it down. See, our bodies are just cars that we operate and drive around. The dealership we call society decided to label mine the black edition, yours the Irish or white edition. With no money down, 0% APR, and no test drive, we were forced to own these cars for the rest of our lives. Forgive me, but I fail to see the logic or pride in defining myself or judging another based on the type of car they drive. Because who we truly are is really inside.
Listen, I am not here to tell you how science has concluded that genetically we are all mixed, or race in the human species does not exist, or how every historian knows that race was invented in the 15th century to divide people from one another, and it has worked perfectly. No, I'm not here to lecture you. I just have to ask you one question. Who would you be if the world never gave you a label, never gave you a box to check? Would you be white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Middle Eastern, Native American, or Indian? No, we would be one. We would be together, no longer living in the error of calling human beings white people or black people. These are the labels that will forever blind us from seeing a person for who they truly are, but instead seeing them through the judgmental, prejudicial, and artificial labels of who we think they are. And when you let an artificial label define who you are, then you, my friend, have chosen smallness over greatness. You have minimized yourself, confined and divided yourself. And it is an undeniable fact that when there is division, there is conflict, and conflict starts wars. Therefore, wars are started by labels. So the answer to war, racism, sexism, and every other ism is so simple that every politician has missed it. It is the labels.
We must rip them off. Isn't it funny how no baby is born racist, yet every baby cries when they hear the cries of another, no matter the gender, the culture, the color, proving that deep down we were all meant to connect and care for one another. That is our mission. It's not just my opinion. That is the truth in a world that has sold us fiction. Please listen. Labels only distort our vision, which is why half of those watching this will dismiss it or feel resistance and conflicted. But just remember, so did the caterpillar before it broke through its shells and became a magnificent butterfly. Well, these labels are our shells, and we must do the same thing in order to finally spread our wings. Human beings weren't meant to be slapped with labels like groceries at a supermarket. DNA cannot be regulated by the FDA. We were meant to be free. And only until you remove them all and stop living and thinking so small will we finally be able to see ourselves and each other for who we truly are.
Labels do not define us. Who we have been called, who we think that we have been, who we are told that we are, none of that matters. What matters is what we choose to represent. What matters is how we choose to live our lives. What matters is that we overcome the labels and choose something more. On each of these squares behind me is a label that has been applied to the staff members. Tonight, we take these labels off and embrace what it is that we want to represent. Each staff member has chosen one word or phrase that they want to adopt and strive to be better at representing. The word I chose is love. I want to show more love because apart from it, no good thing exists. Something we want each of you to work on and think about after you leave camp this week is figuring out what it is that you want to represent. What one word or phrase will you use to narrow your focus and help you become a better person? Applied to each and everything you do, this word or phrase can help strengthen your purpose and help you become what it is that you want to represent. Choose to be happy. Choose to love. Choose to be more than you think that you can be. Choose to be yourself and not who others tell you you have to be. Choose to represent.